Guten Tag, welcome back to CFC-tV. This is my review of the Southampton versus Chelsea match, and we won it. We won it 2-1. Finally, the first, we've won 2 consecutive Premier League games in a row, which is just huge, isn't it? It's not huge. It's huge for this season. Actually, it's an embarrassment that it took us until the end of February to do that. But, it's still something we finally had to do. And as far as I know, at least the commentator said that, it's the first time we've won a game after trailing in a game, which is also like a huge step forward. It's just not letting your heads drop after you concede. Just try to and still win the game, which we did. I'm going to start with the lineup as usual. It was the same lineup that started against CT and PSG. Courtois in goal, Azpilicueta on the right, Ivanovic and Cahill as centre-backs, Fabregas on the left, Mikel and Cesc Fabregas as holding midfielders, Hazard, Willian and Pedro behind the striker, behind Diego Costa. Callum Terry's still not 100% fit. He's close to being fit, but Gus said he would probably or maybe be fit next weekend, not for the midweek game against Norwich. After 4 or 5 minutes, Pedro picked up a hamstring injury. Oscar came on for him, obviously. And I know, bad luck for Pedro. I really liked his performances recently, so I hope he's not going to be out for too long. But otherwise, the first half was a bit dull. Nobody really did anything. We didn't create any chances, really. They didn't really create any chances. It was a weird game, Southampton kept 6 clean sheets in a row until this game. I think they've won 5 and drawn 1 or something, or won 4 and drawn 1 in the last 5. I can't remember. But still, they're a good side. I think they were 7th before we played them, or 6th. No, I think 7th. So they're not a bad side. And they took the lead just before half time after Rama made a stupid mistake. I think he sort of tried to head it to Cahill or Ivanovic, just outside our box, and just put it in the path of Shane Long, who just ran on goal. Courtois probably should have done a bit better, closed him down and just got the ball, basically. But, it took Courtois a bit too long to get there, and Shane Long managed to chip him and put the ball in the far corner, which obviously was a bit annoying because I didn't feel like any team deserved to be winning at halftime. Then Gus Hiddink decided to be a bit ruthless and just make a strong decision and took Rahman off and put Kennedy on as left back. Probably more like a wing back, but the second half, in the end, it turned out to be a good move because we dominated them and Kennedy didn't really have to defend that much. So that worked out well. And then we as I said, we dominated the game, but they still have a great team and especially a great defense, and it took us a while to sort of break the defense down. It started with, I think, the first time in the game that Hazard actually tried to take on a player, obviously, because he can, went past him, and passed it to Costa, who made a good run. The ball was a bit, the pass was a bit, strong, and Costa just about managed to keep it in, and at the touchline. And he passed it back to Fabregas, who actually tried to sort of chip, cross, pass mixture thing to Hazard at the far post, but the ball went in the back of the net. It was a bit weird because Forster, the Southampton keeper, and Van Dijk, the defender, I think Forster sort of expected Van Dijk to get a touch to it, and Van Dijk, I think, didn't see Hazard, so I don't know what Van Dijk was doing. Not really sure what happened there, but the ball went in the back of the net, and it was lucky, but we'll take it. And then it was just all us. We completely dominated them. I don't even think we let them come out of their half. And whenever they did, we got the ball straight back and started another attack after attack after attack. Hazard started doing well. He tried things. It was just he went past people. He made good passes, stuff like that. And then we got a corner. Not sure, probably Willian who put it in, and then Ivanovic got the head to it, put it in the back of the net. He was very unmarked, so we got a bit lucky there again, considering how good defensively Southampton have been. But you could clearly see after we scored the equaliser, their heads went down, and the momentum was all with us, which was great. And it took us 89 minutes to score the winner, and we just sealed it out for extra time or injury time. But it's just so big. Like I was so buzzing. I screamed my heart out for both goals actually. Because first of all, I didn't want us to lose, obviously, and it was nice to get us the equaliser. Then obviously when we scored the winner, it was just incredible. To get to individual performances, Courtois didn't really have to do anything except for the goal, and he didn't do that well. So not really too happy with him. He commanded the box well. That's what he does all the time, doesn't he? Like he gets to crosses and stuff. There was actually one situation where it was a long ball by I don't know who, but he sort of just tried to run at it, but then he realised there was, I think, Shane Long got the ball and he was then in the middle of the 18 yards box, sort of trying to run backwards, but just small steps so he can react to some if the player shoots from there. And it was a bit lucky that I think Azpilicueta sort of held off Austin to keep the corner the header out. Azpilicueta had a good game. He did well going forward. His crossing wasn't the best, but he was in positions. And he did well defensively. That with Shane Long and Austin and who else played up front? They had 3 strikers at the beginning. Can't remember. And Pele when he came on as well. Cahill and Ivanovic. Obviously, Ivanovic scored the winner, which was huge. Cahill was maybe a bit lucky. Maybe Southampton should have had a penalty just minutes before we equalised, I think. After, he sort of tackled Austin, I think, who sort of tried to put the ball over himself again. And I think it hit Cahill's arm. Not it was intentional, but, it wasn't a not natural arm position. So he probably could have been given. Not saying it is a definite penalty, but I've seen it given. Let's say that. Bobby Rahman, just forget him. He's just not a defender in the Premier League. You can play him against, I don't know, Norwich and Bournemouth probably, and Aston Villa, Sunderland in the home games against those teams, because he's good going forward, but he has a good cross in him. He's quite pacey. He's got good touch, got decent passing. But defensively, he's just so bad. Decision making, he's just terrible at, to be honest. I said it after the Man City game. I said it after the PSG game. I'm saying it again today. It's just not happy with it. Not happy with him. And Fabregas didn't have his greatest games. He had a few more misplaced passes than he usually does. Passes that got intercepted as well. Not always his fault, just lack of movement by other players sometimes. But also he overhits quite a few balls to Costa, just nowhere near Costa in the end. But he puts in some tackles, some big tackles, important tackles. Controlled the game, especially in the second half. He distributed everything is running through him, especially since he's found form again. And obviously he scored a goal. As lucky as it might have been, it was still a big goal, because if we wouldn't have equalised, from a lucky goal, we probably wouldn't have scored at all. And obviously not won the game or even got a point from it. Mikel had a good game actually. He was really good, defensively. It was 1 or 2 sloppy touches, but that's what you get with Mikel, a few sloppy touches a game. But overall, he did well. Hazard wasn't great in the first half. He tried to shoot twice, hit it 10 yards over the goal, which was a bit annoying. Not gonna lie, but not great. He didn't do anything stupid. He didn't lose the ball in bad positions or something. He was actually quite good defensively. He got the ball. Ward-Prowse probably was it, and started a counter-attack, which was good. So he did do his job going backwards, but obviously he went past the player to make the assist for Cesk's goal, and he was the player that Cesk attempted to get the ball to, so he was kind of involved in the goal as well. And after we equalised, he was our main man. Everything was running through him and Fabregas, those two, and they just tried to put it here, put it there. But he did cool. He did okay in the second half. Willian, what can you say about Willian? Pure class. He's left, right, centre. Crossing, cutting in, having a shot, putting in good crosses. That's just what he does. He wasn't lucky today, but he just puts in the shift, and that's what he does every game, and that's what he has been doing since August. And even last season he did that. So I'm happy with Willian yet again. Oscar didn't have the greatest of games. I think he had 2 decent shots, but he didn't do anything stupid again, didn't mess something up, so I was okay with him. Obviously a bit sad for Pedro, because even in the first 4 minutes, Pedro looked really good. So, he was the one that, tried to start our attacks. because for some reason Pedro started on the left and Hazard on the right, which was a bit weird, but probably would have interchanged anyway. And then Diego was good. Like it's difficult to say he didn't score. Well, he assisted Fabregas' goal, but he yet again, in my opinion, took the game by the scruff of the neck and wrecked us to get something. He's been recently, we've been happy with him just scoring goals and, doing what he's supposed to do. But sometimes if the game is that tight and we're just losing it by a little bit and they're doing so well defensively, then is when we need the nasty Costa, because, he just tripped over them, just cheeky fouls all the time until they got annoyed. And if defenders like Southampton, if the big ones get annoyed and commit just a yard too much, you have a bit more space. And obviously Costa made a big run before Cesc scored. I thought it was going to go out. I didn't think he would keep it in, but he did. Just about as well. The Southampton players sort of were shouting for it to have crossed the line, but he didn't. So he's really took the game by the scruff of the neck, which is good to see, which is what we need. He's sort of a leader on the pitch. Maybe not in the dressing room, I don't think, but Costa is a leader on the pitch, in my opinion. But yeah, overall, as I said, dull game. A bit lucky with the equaliser. Actually, quite a good second goal because we haven't been doing well after corners. So it was the only good corner today as well. I think there was one really short one, which Costa just got a flick on, but basically just straight in the hands of Forster. But all the others, Forster just managed to catch, or it didn't even go past the first man, and they cleared it. But the decisive goal came from a corner, which is good. As far as I know, we're 5 points behind fifth now. I think so. I think that isn't the case. Let me just check that, people. Because obviously Arsenal are playing Man United tomorrow. Man United are fifth now. Actually, they're sixth. We are exactly. Actually, we're 7 points behind fifth now, but 5 points behind Man United, who play Arsenal tomorrow. So probably United are going to lose that. That's what I think anyway. So yeah, we're not. It's not impossible to get at least top six. Which is good. It wouldn't be a terrible season. I think we've been top six in the last 20 or 21 years consecutively. One of the two. Which, would be a run would be nice to keep that run going. So yeah, it was a huge win. I think it was a huge morale boost yet again. We've been doing so well recently. Obviously, we lost to PSG, but still, 2-1 defeat with the form we had this season is still not bad away from home in Paris. We've smashed Newcastle. We've smashed Man City, obviously with the youngsters, but still, you can only beat what gets put in front of you. We beat Southampton today. As I said, first time we've won 2 consecutive Premier League games in a row. That makes no sense. Consecutive in a row means the same thing. Well, who cares? But yeah, that's it from me. I think we're playing Newcastle on Tuesday. Not Newcastle, Norwich on Tuesday. So that's it from me, and see you for a review of the Norwich game.